Hello, my name is Peter Romney, and this is a presentation about a whistleblowing analysis. Particularly, it's about a man named Tony Menendez versus the company Halliburton. Taking a moral stand in theory seems like an easy thing to do. You know what is right, and you believe others around you feel the same way. Though in practice, it is actually quite difficult to stand up for what is morally right. Within our textbook, we are cautioned to go about whistleblowing in the right way. Furthermore, Joseph Badaracco, author of We Don't Need Another Hero, advises us that we should be patient and methodical about correcting problems we face. In reading the stories about Tony Menendez and the whistleblowing battle against Halliburton, I have drawn my own conclusion that on top of everything our authors have explained about whistleblowing, one needs to have a strong sense of hope as well. As noted in the last slide, a whistleblower needs to be patient before making a big stink about what you believe to be right. You should take time to study it and make sure all of your ducks are in a row. Badaracco illustrates this point with a story of a young lady who gives a grandiose speech to her boss that accused her boss and other coworkers of problems they had. Though she was right, no change happened, and she ended up leaving that job. I have seen similar instances in places that I've worked, where somebody goes to give a big speech and they end up giving an ultimatum where it doesn't work in their favor. In the movies, those themes seem to work out, but in reality, they have the opposite effect. Mintz and Morris explain in a whole paragraph that before whistleblowing to an outside enforcement, that you should first discuss the issue with people within your company. Seeking advice from ethics counselor and attorney will also help you in your decision making. Badaracco says, put things off until tomorrow, pick your battles, bend the rules but don't break them, and find a compromise. Tony Menendez must have taken the same course in his studies to be an accountant. His actions to correct the revenue recognition problem at Halliburton were textbook. After he recognized the problem, he was methodical, studious, and careful about stating his claim. Menendez was asked to book a transaction for Halliburton that increased its revenue even though the product was not ready to deliver to its customer. He studied the revenue recognition rules within GAAP and concluded that they were doing it incorrectly, actually for a long period of time, 7 years. And he notified his boss that they were. His boss agreed, but upper management refused to make the change. As it would be hard, as it would hurt current period earnings. With a desire and ethical duty in mind to help the public, knowing that Halliburton wouldn't change, he decided to take his claim to the SEC. Now, this was back in 2005 and 2006, and the whistleblowing guidelines were relatively new. Legally, siding with the whistleblower didn't really ever happen. In fact, within the article, it states that only 2% of cases sided in favor of the whistleblower. It took 3 years to get that first ruling for Menendez, which he lost, but he kept fighting. In 2011, the Fifth Circuit Court overruled that ruling and awarded Menendez $30,000 from Halliburton for the trouble it cost him. Menendez still speaks to inspire others to stand up for what is morally right. In the end, whistleblowing may be tough, but it changes the way people act. Small acts of morality go a long way. The world doesn't change in dramatic fashion overnight, but one small instance at a time. Thank you for listening.